Association, also known as SGA Executive Board.
Thanks, Antonika. I would now like to introduce the current SGA executive officers. Francesca Edwards, President of Student Government Association. Kathy Legs, Secretary of Student Government Association. Miranda Thornton, Public Relations Chair of Student Government Association. We would also like to introduce the Senate Executive Board. Will each senator and executive member please stand when corresponding colleges are called? Leading off with Senate's Executive Board, our President, Antonika Green. Myself, President Pro Tempore Jameer Mitchell, Secretary Kayla Torgano, Treasurer Jessica Roney, Student Affairs Chair Delana Smith, Academic Affairs Chair Sarah Adams, and Publicity Affairs Chair Lupita Rico. College of Arts and Science, College of Nursing, College of Health Science, College of Professional Education, Graduate School, Resident Senators, Commuter Senators, and Non-Traditional Senators. And now our Treasurer, Jessica Roney, will introduce our distinguished panel.
Introducing the forum.
The Town Hall Forum gives students the opportunity to discuss the campus with the university's top administrators. The Town Hall Forum is a timed event, and we ask you to limit your question to 1 minute. Because this event is podcasted, if you feel uncomfortable, please write your question down on the white piece of paper you received upon entering the forum. Or if you need more than 1
questions? All right, I'm going to read one. There is an issue regarding the new technology used to reserve rooms and vending tables. Various organizations have been overlooked and even booked in overlapping time slots. The problem seems to be with the organizations that have reserved the rooms before the new electronic form. What can be done about this?
I can do that. I'm not sure when the question was submitted, that may help me answer that a little bit better, but software's been in place now for 1 year, and I'm assuming we're talking about the student union, that's the only scheduling software there is on campus. When we did switch over, we still had the paper forms, and then we went to the scheduling software, and there were some glitches the first 2 or 3 months. Since then, it's not possible for there to be double bookings. The system will not allow for that. And so if there's been a specific problem, it's because maybe we're looking at a wrong date or we're looking at a different room and you want a specific room. If you will contact us, we will do everything in our power to accommodate you. We do to move groups every now and then just for space, or especially if a group of 10 want to meet 1207. I've got to think about a group of 75 who are wanting to meet at the same time. So we do ask groups to move around and make some accommodations to meet everyone's needs. So if there are specific concerns, please bring specific ones to my knowledge, our office and student union 209 will be glad to help you.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from the audience?
I have a question from the board. My name is Wes Parker, and I'm the graduate school student. This is actually a question that's been submitted by someone else during the meeting. Recently, there have been lots of issues with Star Call. How are the plans to handle this issue?
So like all lost message issues, one question we have. We don't have any way of preventing loss from getting in these facilities. As you know, most of them are really old facilities. Now, however, we do take preventative measures when they're reported to us. We use a peppermint spray to knock the loss down. It doesn't harm anyone. It smells awfully good. But the loss is eventually die. We clean them up and they go away. Where we do find any penetrations, we do try to caulk those. It's not possible to caulk every major penetration in various buildings. You mentioned Stark Hall. We have a similar problem in Stark and Gwynn and a few other buildings on campus, being one of those. We do take immediate action to report it, like I said. But if you could imagine, and I know you all have seen a lot of the back of house in these buildings, but the huge chases for fire protection systems and ventilation systems and things like that just makes it virtually impossible to close every opening. I know in the dorms, it's basically been an issue from time to time above the 10th floor. Wasps do hibernate like bears and things like that, so they the reports come during that flux period, the in and the out period. And that's the only time we get those. Now, we're doing everything we can. That's about as much as I can say on it. We do try to penetrate. If we see one coming in a certain place, in a hole somewhere, we will caulk that hole. But you just can't stop everything. We're doing our best.
Thank you very much. Is there any other questions? Yes.
I heard that the drop option of 6 courses might be eliminated. Is that true?
No. As far as I know, there's no change. That was a state law that was passed, and I've not seen any proposal to make a change.
Thank you. Is there any other questions that we may have?
my advisor told me that because after this semester I'll have completed one of my degrees and all the requirements, she said if I went ahead and kept going without graduating, they may not give me as much financial aid, therefore I'd be out and wouldn't be able to go to school. But I had no way of doing that.
Actually, you do if you read the descriptions for each financial aid program on the website, it indicates whether that program is available at the graduate level or just at the undergraduate level. And there are some programs that are restricted. In fact, most of the grant programs are restricted to undergraduate level. So if you have the option to leave that degree open and just go directly into a graduate program without graduating, and maybe set both degrees at the same time. We have some students who do that. At the point that you are taking only graduate courses, you cease to be eligible for undergraduate financial aid, such as a Pell Grant, for instance, a supplemental grant, a Texas grant, which are the largest grant programs. So it's usually, from a financial aid perspective, not advantageous to a student to take that option of not closing that undergraduate degree, because it is going to cause a drastic change in your aid, and you may not get sufficient warning. In other words, once you register for all those graduate courses, let's say you complete the undergraduate courses in December, you make the decision not to graduate, and you start taking immediately graduate courses for the spring, depending on how early you pre-register, which is the trigger that tells us you've made appropriate
then you will not get that excess hours, so when you start with that second budget.
What if I were to graduate? And
Or
then
go ahead
come back?
and graduate.
But I mean, does it
That works
matter?
too. Not to us.
Thanks.
Okay, I just had a question about the mission statement for the university. I heard that it changed, and I was wondering why it changed or what it changed to, because I hadn't heard a lot about it. I just heard that it happened.
It's a great question, and fortunately, I'm still new enough that I can claim ignorance, but it did change recently. There were minor changes that went to the board last week, and the previous interim provost had coordinated the changes, but it basically got updated to a more comprehensive view of the university with some core values, the sorts of experiences that students might have and expect from the university. If you would like, though, I'd be happy to send a copy of the new mission statement to students and its leadership, and they can distribute that. And if you have other questions, you can entertain those later.
Hi, my name is Alicia, and I have a question. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that there are like some budget cuts, and I was wondering if that is true for the students who are doing work study or just having jobs on campus. I was wondering if some of their jobs are going to be cut.
Well, that's a big question that covers a lot of different areas. But one area that I can talk to you about is jobs on campus, because I know that's very important to a lot of our students, and it's important to a lot of us who have departments that depend on our student workers. It is absolutely a fiscal question. There isn't a common pot of money for student employees. Each department regulates its own budget, and each department has to figure out in their budget how much they can put towards student employment. So you'll see across the board that the departments are different. Some people have a lot of student employees and some do not. So it's up to the department. But I know as an institution we really believe in student employment and providing opportunities for students to work on campus. We know that it makes students more successful. They graduate, they're more likely to graduate when they are working on campus versus working off campus. So it's definitely a priority that we have as an institution to be able to provide jobs on campus for students. But like most things, it comes down to budgets, and we're working with less money. The state is cutting some of our funding. They're cutting higher education across the board. But TWU has done a fantastic job. We've been knowing these cuts were coming for a while. We've been making steps towards making some adjustments to that. And so we feel we're in really good shape. And I think Dr. Neely may be able to address the bigger picture better than I can. But I wanted to make sure that budget cuts are in the news about everything. And we see things in different states. Texas is not unique. TWU is not unique. We're all having to do more with less. But wanted to make sure, as far as working on campus and the positions that you have, it is a priority for us to be able to provide those opportunities for you guys. And we're doing everything we can to maintain that, and where we can to grow those opportunities for you.
Well, it'll be some months before the budget picture becomes clear, but there are two bills out now, the House Bill 1 and the Senate Bill 1. And the House Bill 1 is the more onerous. We would lose a little over $20 million to TWU. Senate Bill 1 would be about $17 million. But the good news is that the administration did see this coming about 2 years ago. We're very well poised to deal with those cuts now. Tell you what worries us the most is not that, but the budget picture as it relates to student aid. Because right now, they're proposing cutting out the Texas Grants Program and other forms of aid. And if you couple that with the federal government, you've been following
with the budget cuts overall. It's dealing with the student financial aid piece and what we may have to do to try to free up money to make sure there is. We would make that up internally somehow. That's sort of our philosophy now. Now, with respect to the budget cuts in general, we don't think we have to make drastic budget cuts. We are talking about the budget realignment, and there's several principles. But the first principle is to protect students and academic quality, and so that speaks to the work-study sort of stuff. There's really no plan right now to impact that at all. The second principle is to protect occupied faculty lines. And right now, we're not looking at doing anything with the faculty lines. The third principle is to protect unoccupied faculty lines. So we're doing everything we can to put academics at the forefront of what we protect because it's programs, faculty, and students and importance. So overall, the message is fairly positive. However, these are budget cuts in the sense that we've been planning for them for 2 years, and that does hurt us. There's no question about it. Think of having $17 to $20 million, what you could have done with that we're giving up. But right now, it's financial aid. That's our major worry.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the floor?
I have a question regarding financial aid. I had a situation my first semester happened where I had a lot of scholarships coming in as an incoming freshman, and I'm assuming my financial aid, the overall scholarship exceeded my cost of attendance. So when I got my refund check, I noticed that it wasn't as much as it was supposed to be. So nobody ever contacted me. I contacted financial aid, and the lady told me that because my financial aid exceeded my cost of attendance, that they would have to take one of my scholarships away, which is my top 10% scholarship. So pretty much out of the whole message, it was kind of like a positive side of getting scholarships and a negative side of the scholarships. How did that all work out?
Well, first of all, any changes to your financial aid, you do receive a notification through the portal about that. There's no change that occurs if that doesn't happen. So you do need to pay attention to the financial aid section of the portal. Most of the financial aid programs are based on financial aid. The top 10 scholarship, even though it's called a scholarship, it is also based on financial need. And if a student receives external scholarships that exceed that need, they will lose eligibility to that particular scholarship. And that loss occurs at the moment those external scholarships exceed that limit. So for instance, you could be okay with some, okay in the fall, and then get an external scholarship payment in the spring that could eliminate the eligibility for that scholarship. Unfortunately, that's what the law is written for. You have at least $1 in financial need to retain that scholarship. But the notification, as soon as we know that there's an issue, then we do receive a notification moving forward with more change. Now, the change doesn't require your approval, it's just driven by law. It tells us what to do when that happens, but you are notified immediately.
Is there any other questions from the board?
I have a question for, to add on to the budget shortfall question. Is that impacting us just for one academic year?
No, the numbers I threw out, the 17 to over 20 million, that's for the biennium. So per academic year, you can just cut that in half. We realize at this point, we do not know what's going to happen. There's a lot of lobbying going on to try to convince the governor to dip into the rainy day fund because if it's not raining now, then how do you define rain, I guess. So if that were to happen, then the number might come down, but that's over a 2-year period.
Thank you.
This question is for Chief Erwin. Last semester I had a ticket because I talked to a restricted area. But they say it was gray, but it looked blue to me. So I don't know, can I paint like orange or yellow or something? Because it did look blue.
those two colors are coincide next to one another. No one else. If you're in a gray, you're down in south end of the county. If you're in a blue, you're on the north.
Question on the floor?
I just have a suggestion, or I was just wondering, if we were to change the Black Bean parking lot that's right across from the residence halls and like right next to Pioneer Hall, could we change that to like a blue resident only parking? Because I think a lot of complaints with parking is like, not a lot of residents that might have to walk in the large parking lot to like just start when residence halls, and if we were to just change that to just a resident only parking lot, would that be easier?
Black parking is for all decal. It's for anybody who put a decal, no matter what description it is. Normally, the black parking around residence hall to start parking lot all fell after is 95% resident parking. That's your guess for the parking space. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think just like, if we were just maybe just move permanently, I think just, I don't know, maybe a few years. Because I know we have that other lot being open and being cemented and all of that. But I think if it would just reassure residents that they have those spots themselves, I think they'd be more reassured that they could park there.
Given the city parking to resident parking, we do have some blue parking areas. Most of the black parking areas are perimeter of campus. On the north end, those black parking spaces are around mostly the residence hall. We have some blue spaces south of Stark Hall. That's a real hard place to get right now because we've got construction for the recreation building, the recreation building, that congests that whole area.
Thank you.
I also just have one more question. I want to know if the board would be willing, or sorry, the panel would be willing to expand on what Dr. Neely was talking about. In our department, or my department, which is the graduate department, there has been rumors that some of the programs may be cut because of budget cuts. I wanted to know if programs are cut, what would be the plan for current students? And if they're not cut, the second rumor is that some of the classes will be consolidated, which would increase class size. What is the plan then to maintain the integrity of the quality of education that we get?
First, the rumor you're hearing, there's no plan to cut programs at this point. But I do imagine what you're hearing is a process that we're about to embark on called program prioritization. And that's really to go through a process to identify our strongest programs, and then those programs that might be underperforming in some way. But there's no intent to cut the programs that might be underperforming. This is just a conversation starter. If you have a program that you think could be more, you need to ask the question, what does it take for it to be more? If you have a program that you don't think can ever be any stronger or more productive than it is, then you ask the question, are there ways to develop interdisciplinary ties that strengthen other programs that are in a similar situation? So any healthy organization needs to know what its strengths and weaknesses are and how you attack those and how you allocate resources. So we're going to go through that process. There's a strong methodology for doing this. It's going to be a very careful, cautious process. It'll probably take 10 months to a year to take place. I imagine having a large steering committee on this, 20 to 30 people that cut across the university, including students. The methodology is not quantitative. We all know that any institution has loss leaders in terms of programs, but those programs are valuable for all sorts of intangible reasons. Some of the criteria you look at are in terms of opportunity analysis. What's the opportunity for a program to grow? So it's not just a matter of these programs have this many majors and produce this many credit hours, therefore they're strong, and these don't, therefore they're less strong. It's far more sophisticated and meaningful than that. And I don't even like the term program prioritization, but that is the national jargon. So The literature that we're using calls it that, so I'm just going to be consistent with it. So right now, though, there are no programs targeted anywhere in this university to be cut. With respect to large class sizes, that's something we have to look at carefully. And this year there was an experiment, I think the pilot was with 6 courses. And what we found with those 6 courses is that the success rate of students weren't as high as they were in smaller classes, and we're going to terminate that pilot. On the other hand, the reason I was late, I was with the Department of Nutrition and Food Sciences, and they showed me data for a class that has grown to now 124 students. And the things they've done, they've implemented some tutorials and things. Students are actually performing better now than they did in small classes. So, there's no black and white answer to any of these questions. You may grow class sizes and then put in other sorts of things that are less expensive than a full-time faculty member that actually improve student success. So, what I'm about is quality, and I'm going to work with the faculty and my administrators to make sure we maintain that. But we need to understand what, especially in this budget climate, what the playing field is like with respect to our programs. I hope that answers your question to some extent.
Thank you. Now we will turn it back over to our president.
I would like to thank our panel and guests for taking the time out of their busy schedules to answer all of your questions. Now that we have had the opportunity to ask the panelists questions, I would like to invite Dr. Lerner to come up to the front, and she will explain the quality enhancement plan, and she will also ask you, the audience, questions about your experience at TWU and what you like about being at TWU. Once Dr. Lerner has concluded her portion, we will open up the floor for announcements and also the back for refreshments. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Lerner, Director of Academic Outreach.
Good afternoon. I did have a little exercise in which I was going to engage our panel, but since they didn't know about it in the interest of time, we'll do that another day. I did want to commend the student that asked about the parking ticket. Good luck with that. It doesn't work. If you get a ticket, you might as well. I did want to spend just a couple of minutes, and I thank you for your time, to talk to you about something that is very important to Texas Women's University, and that we really need to hear your voice. And I couldn't think of a better opportunity than in a town forum for us to sort of turn the tables and say, you've asked us some questions. We want you to know that we're going to be asking you some. Does anyone know what SACS is? S-A-C-S. I need to be careful when I say that. I get many different answers. What is SACS?
It's the reaccreditation program for universities.
Correct. SACS stands for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. It is the accrediting body that accredits Texas Women's University and makes your diploma valuable. A university that is not accredited, that issues a diploma, makes it more difficult for you to use that diploma in any future endeavor. So accreditation is vital to Texas Women's University. Every 10 years, every university in our region undergoes reaffirmation. That means we remain accredited, but we must document and make our case to our accrediting body that we are doing everything that they need us to do, that we are abiding by their principles, following their guidelines, and this time, something new. TWU will be up for reaccreditation in 2012. We will be reaffirmed in spring of 2013. But in the fall of 2012, what the accrediting body has asked us to do is to submit a QEP. And you'll be hearing QEP until you are sick of it. QEP stands for Quality Enhancement Plan. And as you might imagine, it is a plan that the university will put forward. It's a proposal. And we will say, here, accredited body, this is one thing that TWU has identified that we would like to implement Its focus is always on student learning. So you might recommend, okay, I've got a great idea for a plan. Let's build more parking lots. Or let's build another building, or let's do something to infrastructure. No. The QEP must reflect our attempt to enhance student learning. So within the next week or so, you will be receiving in your email a request for a survey. And I'm asking you to please respond to the survey. The survey will ask we'll ask a couple of questions about who are you, which college are you in, just so we know whether you're a graduate and undergraduate. It is an anonymous survey. You do not need to worry about responding to it. We're looking for aggregate data. What we want to know from you are some ideas about areas of your education that we might enhance. It might be anything from helping me understand math, helping me read better, helping me write better, helping me with my research, helping me with my community engagement, helping develop internship programs. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I almost hate to mention any, lest you think that's the only list. One of the things that we're going to do to help you in this endeavor is we are building a QEP website. And when you receive that email, you will see a link to the QEP website. And there you will see additional information about what QEP is. It will give you examples of what other institutions have selected to do as their quality enhancement plan. One thing that I need to mention, the quality enhancement plan is driven primarily by faculty. Because if you think about it, it's the faculty that work with you that know and care most deeply about your educational program. But we need your voice. Who knows better the impact of your educational program than you? So today, this is a plea. Check your email. If your email is forwarded somewhere else, I don't care where it goes, where you get it. We're also looking at possibly using Facebook and Twitter to find you wherever you are. But when you hear QEP, I want you to know what it is. QEP stands for Quality Enhancement Plan. It is a plan to benefit faculty or students? Students. Parking or learning? Learning. Okay, you will see the email. Please respond to it. And you will see a number of other activities around that talk about quality enhancement plan. And we want to hear your voice. As wonderful as all of these folks are up here in shaping the future of TWU, I think you want a part of that. Yes? Okay. Respond to the email. My email is blearner@TWU. And any questions that you have about SACS or the QEP, you can throw it to me. Thank you.
And I would just like to point out that her last name is spelled L-E-R-N-E-R.
Thank you.
For your information. If anyone has any announcements to be made, would you please stand at this time and the senators direct them with microphones, please.
Hello, I'm Protector Edwards, the current SGA president here at TWU. SGA will be holding the election next week. We also want you all to know that anybody who's still interested in running for anything in SGA, with the exception of the Campus Activity Board and House of Reps, you can turn your application until Friday, and then voting will start next Monday, and you can vote through Pioneer Portal. So even if you don't want to get involved with SGA that way, you can definitely get involved by voting. Because we speak for you all, if you don't vote, then you won't have a choice in who is still to be your voice. Also, tonight at the basketball game, which starts at 7 o'clock, SGA will be having org night, so we hope all of you will come out and join us in supporting the basketball team in their last home game. That's all.
Any other announcements? Well, we'd like to thank everybody for coming, and our panelists, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. We have refreshments at the back, so see y'all tomorrow. Thank you.